Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Yeah, so obviously you guys know from the title what this video is about. So, I haven't done a video really on this channel. Yeah. I did it on my old channel though. I did a review on this, actually, figure. If you guys don't know, I collect vintage toys. Specifically, Stretch Armstrong. And I collect a few other types of, but, mainly Stretch Armstrong. And I did a couple of reviews on my original channel, but I have done no reviews, really, of any of it on this channel. So, yeah, if you guys don't know what Stretch Armstrong is, it's a toy brand that was like a gel-filled, well, corn syrup-filled action figure that you could stretch and he would like slowly return to his original shape. Had a latex body, was filled with corn syrup that was like boiled and it like got really thick, the corn syrup. Well, latex obviously degrades over time, so they don't necessarily last forever, obviously. But there are ways you can repair them, Another thing that happens to them is their corn syrup hardens, the corn syrup inside of them, it like solidifies. Now, there are ways to fix these problems. What you do is you take the figure, you heat up the head up of the figure, and you pop it off the neck peg. There's a little peg in there that like the neck attaches to. I'll probably show you guys more of this in a bit. And then you drain the figure of all the syrup, you heat up all the syrup, and it gets real, pliable or whatever, and it pretty much it just like runs out of the figure. But yeah, and then you can, you use latex or latex glue or things like that. I just use latex to repair the skins, outside, inside. I usually just coat, or I, fix any little holes it has. With this figure, I'll show you here's a problem I have yet to deal with. We'll be experimenting on how to do this in this video. It might be a little bit of a longer video, and or a multiple part video, I don't know. So, it'll probably only be one part video, but, so, what I do is I fix the holes, any of the holes that need, like, delicate fixing, or, like, more attention, because there actually are holes. I'll fix them, and then I'll just pour latex into the body, and I'll, like, swirl it around and evenly coat the inside, and I'll dump it back out. I'll let that dry, and then I'll do this maybe one or two more times. Just to get a nice thick coating on, make the body, a lot thicker so it does not degrade as easy. And stops the degrading process. And then you boil down the corn syrup with new corn syrup. I'm messing with the ratios of, like, old corn syrup to new corn syrup ratios. Definitely, you gotta boil, like, you start out with the new corn syrup and you boil it for a while, so it's all bubbling and, like, it's losing, moisture. You boil it for, like, I give it, a while. By a while, I mean, like, maybe boil it for, I'm gonna say about 20 to 30 minutes. Then add in your block of old corn syrup that came out of the figure, and you mix it around, you melt it down in there, and yeah, and you wait for it all to get mixed together, you're sitting there stirring, wait for it all to mix together, and then you can do that for like another, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes or so, Then you can let it, as it let it cool a tad, not very much, but a little bit, and put it back in the stretch figure. But, however, depending on, and really like the whole, how much new corn syrup you use depends on how much corn syrup you got out the figure. If you have like pretty much all the corn syrup out of the figure, and I'm not saying like there's still some left in it, no, you need to make sure you get all of it out of the figure, but if like in your container that you put all your stuff that you drained out in, if you have about, 99% of the corn syrup still left and you have it in this container, don't you, still use about a full bottle. Not like, I'm still kind of experimenting with it, maybe a little less than a full bottle for that. Like maybe, 8/10 of a bottle. Yeah. However, well, anyways, that's kinda how I would do that, but it just depends. It really depends on what the case scenario of the figure is, what the condition, what exactly your problem is. I'm still, I'm no pro by any means, but I am working on better methods of fixing them. Same way I do the inflatables, I've worked at different ways on fixing them, and now I've found a great way. I've found kind of a pretty good way to fix these stretch figures. I'm just sitting here kind of slowly tweaking it back and forth to get it just right. To have like the perfect way to fix your stretch figure, because these figures are worth a lot of money, and like everybody's like, why? I've had so many people be like, it's stupid to collect these figures, they're gonna rot, they're gonna decay, they're gonna degrade, why they're not actually worth money. The thing is, they are worth money because of the fact that they degrade, that they, many of them need repairs, many of them, nobody wants to take the time to do this. The reason that's why they are worth money is because there's not very many left, and the ones that are left need such care that, and there's not a very big fan base for Stretch Armstrong compared to, or collectors, I guess. I mean, yeah, there's quite a few people who do collect Stretch Armstrongs, but, compared to something like Action Man, or He-Man, or Furbies, I don't know, freaking, other vintage toys, compared to, some other vintage toy lines, Stretch Armstrong is, has, next to no fan base, or, collector base, anyways, but there definitely are some people who like Stretch Armstrong still. Hasbro released the new Stretch Armstrong 2016, and they stopped making, I believe. They definitely cut back on how many new Vac-Man figures they made, and they've definitely cut back on how many the 12-inch Stretch Armstrongs they made. They're very hard to find. I feel like you can barely find them on eBay anymore, the 12-inch figures, which is that shows how fast Stretch has come and gone. I mean, we've had 3 generations of Stretch Armstrong. We've had the Kenner, the original, and then there was the knockoff Mego Elastics that are also worth a lot of money now, and I'm really hoping I can get my hands on at least a couple of them by the friggin' end of my lifetime. Anyways, but, yeah. There's 90 Stretch, and then there was the newest Stretch. But today, in this video, we're going to be repairing that was the longest intro I have ever done, sorry guys. Today we're going to be working on, obviously the title said, Ollie the Octopus. Came out in the original Kenner line, the blue octopus. There was Olivia and Ollie, who were aimed towards younger kids, and there were going to be more aimed towards younger kids. I mean, there was Stretch Serpent, never really got produced very much, and I think he was kind of more for younger kids, because it was just like a worm, And then there's going to be Stretch Alligator, who was aimed towards younger kids with Olivia and Ollie. But so we got Ollie. Olivia was like the female octopus. It was pink with like, you know, red lips and eyelashes and, you know, all that. And there was Ollie, who I've got mine right over here. Mine, this is what I sit him on, because I don't have his original box or anything. Boom, this right here. It's a freaking pickle jar wrapped in some purple shiny paper. This is Ollie Octopus. Mine, as you can see, is still barely pliable. Like, ever so slightly pliable. He is just not... Yeah. He's more pliable than some, let me tell you, but... Yeah. You can see the bottom of it. It has, like, designs in it and stuff that I really am going to try and keep. But, if you look up at the top of him, he's heavily cracking. I have never fixed a stretch Armstrong with latex and stuff. That was cracking. I have never fixed one that way. This might be able to get a better view of his like face. Yeah, so that's Ollie Octopus. But I'm gonna be draining him. I'm gonna boil his head off, and I'm gonna take all the syrup out of him. And I've never fixed a figure that's like cracking like this, anyways, where like the outside is got so many little cracks in it. I mean, because you guys can just see like the amount of like in between the tentacles and crap he has, like all these little cracks in him. It's just horrible. And like even going down the lake, you can see these are like very minute cracks. Now once I get him drained and everything, obviously I'm gonna do and like I wasn't worried about it, except up around the neck where like the cracks are really bad, he has started leaking. Which is like, oh great, you know. And I'm sure he would leak out of some spots in his tentacles because there's some deep cuts or cracks in them too. But they've pretty much hardened. It's up here that hasn't hardened, and that's where it's starting to leak. But, so today, anyways, what we're going to be doing is taking him, and I'm going to be showing you guys some of the process. Hopefully, soon, there will be a video on me doing an original Stretch Armstrong from the Kenner line. Actually, I'm going to be right back. I'm going to go grab some one I actually did the other day. This here is the Hasbro Stretch Armstrong, the much newer Hasbro Stretch Armstrong. Mine, I've had multiple of them. They were not made with very good corn syrup. But like you can see how stiff he is, you know, compared to what this guy looks like now, you know, like he's, you know, I can stretch this guy. Yeah. And he goes back a lot faster because I definitely messed up the new corn syrup to old corn syrup ratio. But this is honestly kind of how the new stretch figures worked. The newer Hasbro ones. These guys were supposed to come back, honestly, a lot slower. Like, you would stretch them. Like, I kind of might be able to get this guy to do it. But, like, you would stretch them, and then their hand, and they'd be like, returning very slowly. I'm going to try and do a little bit better with that on this guy today. And obviously I'll be doing a really good job of that on my one I'm getting soon. Today I'm actually bidding on a 90 stretch Armstrong. Because I had one and I got him and he was in like, I got him for 20 bucks with a Vac Man and one of the yellow dude from the Vac Pack. He was in a lot worse condition than I thought, and he just fell apart. Like, he had, like, thin lines going through him all over, like, damn, almost like a freaking inflatable. You know, when they get those, like, lines going through them like that, that's pretty much what he had, and that's the small little pieces that his latex came apart in, and he pretty much fell to dust. I actually, in one of these drawers over here, have I had a body off of an original stretch figure, but it fell apart because it had it wasn't corn syrup in it, it was something else. I think it might have been silly putty, honestly. But it pulled it apart, and I have its legs still, and I have its arms, but like the whole middle section, this like the whole torso section, just is gone. Yeah, and so it's just kind of like something that's funny. You know, little like freaking legs off of Stretch Armstrong, and the arms that are actually in pretty bad condition. The arms, legs are in decent condition, but you know, I can't do anything with it, so now I just kind of have it. But without further ado, this video is already 15 minutes long. I'm going to start this process. This video is most definitely going to be in a few parts. Like one part of me draining him, one part of me fixing him, the latex, and then one part of me probably putting him back together. And I won't be doing this long intro on everyone. This one's just kind of this video. So, yeah. That's all for the first half of the video. Next time you'll see me, I'll probably be in the kitchen, and his head will probably be off. So, see you then. Hey guys, so we're working on this. You see, I'm just using Caro. I tried this dark Caro syrup. Don't like it as much as just normal, or well, light Caro syrup, whatever. But you got some funnels here. I'll use those to fill them later. Ollie octopus. This is his head. See where his neck peg's supposed to go. So he's got this giant neck peg. It's still got syrup in it, so I don't have to fix that later. He actually had zip ties around his neck, like a 90s stretch, which I thought was interesting. Here's, that's corn syrup that came out of him. You can see this here, this is his body. I'm working on letting it out, but you can just see how cracked he was. How cracked he is. I need to fix him. You can see, like, when he gets squished together, this is how there's like no cracks, and you pull them apart, kind of, and they all start, if it focused, they all start coming back. His neck flange, which is what it's called, the little thingy up here that like goes on the neck peg and into the head, tore sadly a little bit when I was getting out his neck peg. You can see it's got a, but I'll fix it. I'm glad it tore right there, like while I was doing this, so it didn't tear later after I'd already tried to fix him. But as you can see, I am boiling water and then just, slowly but surely squeezing it out of him. Eventually then slowly but surely, once he gets like very little left in him, I'll run some cold water over him and just kind of sit there and pull it out slowly. But this guy is proving difficult because he has so many little freaking tentacles. It is being a pain. But, yep. Got some tongs, smaller pot, blade, and spoon, plastic spoon. But that's honestly probably going to be it for this video. Like I said, I'm going to be doing this in next two parts might be much shorter, much more just like this. Well, second video, the last video is going to be pretty short. This video, obviously, a little bit longer, and the middle video is going to be kind of pretty long as well. But the middle video, I might actually do a time lapse. We'll see. But for now, that's gonna be it with this video, guys. Yeah. See you in the next one. Bye bye.